Nonverbal Communication. Dr. Kala Benjamil, University of 8 May 1945, Guelma. Welcome to the third lecture of the Communication Practices module, which focuses on nonverbal communication. The key points of this lecture include: Introduction to Nonverbal Communication. 2. Types of Nonverbal Communication. 3. Why is nonverbal communication effective? 4. Reading nonverbal cues v. cross-cultural perspectives on nonverbal communication. 6. Conclusion. 7. Works cited. Introduction to Nonverbal Communication. Nonverbal communication is a crucial aspect of human interaction, often working in tandem with verbal communication to convey thoughts, feelings, and information. It encompasses various aspects of expression that do not involve spoken or written words. A definition of nonverbal communication. According to Matsumoto and Wang, nonverbal communication refers to the use of facial expressions, gestures, body language, vocal cues, and other non-linguistic signals to convey messages and meaning. In the words of Knapp and Hall, nonverbal communication encompasses all the ways people communicate without words. B. The significance of nonverbal communication in daily life. Nonverbal communication plays a significant role in our daily lives, often operating beneath our conscious awareness. It serves as a powerful tool for conveying emotions, intentions, and contextual information in various social contexts. As Burgoon and Guerrero highlight, nonverbal cues are omnipresent in daily life and are critical for expressing emotions and attitudes, forming impressions, and regulating conversations. They shape the nature of interpersonal relationships and are essential for understanding the unspoken aspects of communication. See interactions between verbal and nonverbal communication. Verbal and nonverbal communication are closely intertwined and mutually influential, creating a rich and complex communication landscape. The interplay between these two forms of communication is a fascinating area of study. According to Knapp and Hall, verbal and nonverbal communication are not isolated channels but are intricately connected. They complement, regulate, and sometimes even contradict each other, requiring individuals to decode both verbal and nonverbal cues for a complete understanding of the message. These insights emphasize how nonverbal communication significantly shapes our daily interactions, often acting in concert with verbal communication to convey nuanced meanings, express emotions, and facilitate understanding. 2 types of nonverbal communication. A. Facial expressions. B. Body language and posture. C. Gestures and hand movements. D. Eye contact. E. Proxemics. F. Paralanguage. G. Haptics. H. Appearance and dress. I. Olfactory communication. J. Chronemics, use of time. Let's examine them in detail. A. Facial expressions. Facial expressions are a universal form of nonverbal communication that conveys emotions and reactions. Ekman and Rosenberg state, facial expressions are fundamental and serve as a primary means for displaying our emotional states and reactions. They provide essential cues for understanding the feelings of others. B. Body language and posture. Body language and posture convey a wealth of information about an individual's intentions and feelings. As Givens explains, our body language, including posture, serves as a nonverbal dictionary of our emotions, revealing whether we are open, defensive, relaxed, or tense. See gestures and hand movements. Gestures and hand movements are essential tools in nonverbal communication. In McNeil's words, gestures are not mere embellishments, they are an integral part of the language of the body, conveying meanings that complement and enrich verbal communication. D. Eye contact. Eye contact is a potent nonverbal cue that can signal engagement or disinterest. According to Argyle, eye contact is a critical element in social interactions, serving as a primary means of communication, revealing interest, dominance, or submission. E. Proxemics. Proxemics, or the use of space, is a cultural and context-dependent form of nonverbal communication. Hall emphasizes that proxemics reveals how spatial distances and arrangement are a language in themselves, expressing cultural norms, personal boundaries, and relational dynamics. Paralanguage, tone, pitch, and volume. Paralanguage, encompassing tone, pitch, and volume, complements spoken language by conveying emotional nuances. As Mehrabian notes, paralanguage plays a crucial role in understanding the emotional content of speech, often overshadowing the actual words used. Haptics. Haptic communication through touch has varied cultural meanings. In Guerrero and Floyd's words, haptic communication can express affection, comfort, aggression, or even dominance, depending on the context and cultural norms. Appearance and dress. Appearance and dress are nonverbal cues that shape first impressions. As Solomon observes, our choice of clothing and grooming sends nonverbal messages about our identity, social status, and even our attitudes. Olfactory communication. Olfactory communication, related to scent, is a subtle yet influential form of nonverbal interaction. As Hirsch explains, scents can evoke emotions, trigger memories, and communicate information, making olfactory communication a potent, if often overlooked, form of nonverbal expression. Chronemics. Chronemics, or the use of time, can convey messages about punctuality, priorities, and respect. As Hall notes, the timing and sequencing of events are nonverbal elements that communicate a range of cultural and personal meanings. These diverse forms of nonverbal communication enrich our understanding of human interaction by complementing and sometimes even surpassing the spoken word in conveying meaning and intention. Why is nonverbal communication effective? The universality of nonverbal cues. Nonverbal cues are effective because they often transcend language and cultural boundaries. As Knapp and Hall note, facial expressions and some nonverbal behaviors are recognized and understood by people across cultures, making them a universal and efficient means of communication. The emotional power of nonverbal signals. Nonverbal communication is effective because it conveys emotions and intentions with a high degree of intensity. As Knapp and Hall explain, nonverbal cues carry emotional weight, often revealing genuine feelings more powerfully than words, enhancing the impact of the message. Why is nonverbal communication effective? See nonverbal communication as a supplement to verbal communication. Nonverbal communication is effective because it complements and enriches verbal messages. Knapp and Hall suggest, nonverbal cues work in concert with spoken words, adding nuance, emphasis, and context to verbal communication, resulting in a more comprehensive and meaningful exchange. Cultural variations in nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication is effective because it is adaptable to cultural norms. Knapp and Hall point out, cultural variations in nonverbal behaviors are important as they allow individuals to adapt their nonverbal communication to specific cultural contexts, making it a versatile tool for cross-cultural interactions. These factors collectively contribute to the effectiveness of nonverbal communication in human interactions, transcending language and enhancing the emotional, contextual, and cultural dimensions of communication. Reading. Nonverbal cues. Recognizing and interpreting facial expressions. Reading facial expressions is crucial in understanding emotions. Body language and posture. Body language and posture communicate a person's feelings and intentions. Deciphering gestures and hand movements. Gestures and hand movements can convey specific meanings. The role of eye contact in communication. Eye contact is a powerful nonverbal cue. Interpreting vocal cues and paralanguage. Paralanguage, including tone and pitch, adds depth to verbal communication. Making sense of proxemics and personal space. Proxemics reveals cultural norms and personal boundaries. Analyzing haptic communication. Touch communicates a wide range of emotions. Perceiving messages from appearance and dress. Appearance and dress convey social status and identity. L and olfactory communication. Olfactory cues can trigger emotions and memories. The influence of time in communication. Chronemics, or the use of time, communicates punctuality and priorities. Cross-cultural perspectives on nonverbal communication. Cultural variations in nonverbal cues. Cultural variations in nonverbal cues are profound. As Knapp and Hall explain, different cultures interpret nonverbal behaviors, such as gestures, expressions, and proxemics, in unique ways, often leading to misunderstandings if one is not aware of these variations. The importance of cultural sensitivity. Cultural sensitivity is vital in cross-cultural communication. Knapp and Hall emphasize, being culturally sensitive means respecting and adapting to the nonverbal norms of another culture, which is essential for building trust and rapport in intercultural interactions. See cross-cultural communication. Challenges and solutions. Cross-cultural communication presents challenges but also offers solutions. Knapp and Hall note, effective cross-cultural communication involves active listening, empathy, and a willingness to learn and adapt to nonverbal norms, ultimately promoting successful interactions. Understanding cultural variations in nonverbal cues and practicing cultural sensitivity are critical for overcoming communication barriers in a globalized world. 6. Conclusion. In conclusion, nonverbal communication is a profound and intricate facet of human interaction, operating harmoniously with verbal communication to convey emotions, intentions, and information. As experts like Matsumoto, Wang, Knapp, and Hall have emphasized, nonverbal communication encompasses a myriad of cues, from facial expressions to proxemics and scent, each contributing to the richness of our interpersonal connections. Understanding nonverbal communication is not just about decoding these cues, it's about recognizing their universality, emotional potency, and their role in complementing spoken words. We've also explored how nonverbal communication serves as a cultural bridge but can also pose challenges when we fail to adapt to its variations, as highlighted by Knapp and Hall. Therefore, being culturally sensitive is paramount in a world where people from different backgrounds interact continuously. This lecture has underscored the significance of nonverbal communication in everyday life and the undeniable need to enhance our competence in this domain. 7 works cited. Thank you all for attending the 3rd lecture in the Communication Practices course. I look forward to your involvement in the upcoming last lecture of the Communication Practices.